And welcome back, everyone, to game number 2 here. I'm still Midnight, still joined by Hedgie for our second game of the night, which is going to be Melbourne High School on the blue side versus up against McKinnon Secondary on the red. So again, these two teams will be coming in from the Victorian and Victoria and Tasmania region of Meta. And much like our previous game, both these teams are sitting on a 4-2 record. So it is really important for both of these teams that they do get themselves the win.
Yeah, two really important matches tonight. Obviously, or so far, 4-2 each team we've had on tonight. 5-2 now, one of the teams from earlier. But the Yone band to start us off, a very high mechanical champion. Actually, don't see that band first phase too often. And Kaiser to follow up, who has been a very prevalent champion at high levels of play and just really all over the place. She's a very high. Highly played champion, I think the word would be. Seen a lot, and Yumi as well. So kind of some champions that you just don't like coming through already in the ban phase, with Yumi and Yone in particular being those two that you just don't like to see across from you, don't you?
I mean, maybe it's just me, but I see the Yumi, and I'm happy to see Yumi being banned because I just don't enjoy dealing with that champion.
Yeah.
Like, it's just so frustrating to get on top of the champion, get her off of whoever she's bouncing on the back of, and then finally smack her down. So get her off the table. The final ban is going to be the Vayne. There was some banter between the two teams, talking about Vayne in the pre-game lobby, so I'm not too surprised to see that one ban. I'm sure McKinnon Secondary aren't too happy that their Vayne did get taken away. On the other side, of course, you have two beef balls of the Alistair and the Sion taken away, and of course the Kaiser, which is ridiculously good right now, I think. So happy that one matters. Ornn is... I would like to see Ornn, honestly. I love me a good Ornn. And it is going to be the Ornn. Let's go!
Yeah, pretty safe in that top lane. Always going to provide the CC, always going to provide the tankiness. Very annoying to deal with, and Urgot, possibly the response there. I've seen that a lot in this tournament, not just across tonight. Obviously, Urgot being played twice, but I've seen that a lot during the rounds I've casted. Been up a lot, so I love to check the stats on that because he's been played a whole lot. But he is a pretty safe champion in terms of just having that suppression with the ultimate, having the damage he has. His scale is actually relatively okay. He's not too bad. He's very good in most scenarios, and he's a good laner as well. He's always going to be quite strong. Always going to be able to bully out these opponents. And Morgana coming in, even with those nerfs, still a prevalent jungler.
Yeah, still nice and strong there. Likes of the Rumble did get hit as well, but AP junglers are still really strong, and they give a lot of flexibility in, well, what do you want to take in the mid lane? Do you want to play a Talon, a Yasuo, a Zed? If you're really feeling ballsy, there are a lot, even a Tristana, I know some people are playing in mid lane still, so there's a lot of flexibility. Then, speaking of the Zed, yeah, me talking, Demon Slayer will take the Assassin in the mid lane, and now Luminoxix. That name makes me feel like they're a Lux player, but I don't feel like you want to take Lux into a Zed unless you're really hoping to die a lot.
Yeah, that would not be a good matchup. We'll have to see what he actually chooses. Does have the potential counter pick up here, and oh no way!
Do it!
Way. No, please.
Do it! Let's go! It is an assassin fight in the middle lane. One of these guys is going 10-0, and the other one is going 0-10. I cannot wait to get into this. I love watching this matchup because every time I've seen it, Hedgie, I've never been able to work out who wins. Because one game, the Zed will win, and the next game, the Yasuo will win. I was like, what is going on here? But I'm so excited. This is great.
Look, I don't want to keep my eyes on that mid lane matchup too long because I might be going to a hospital because that is just too much cancer for me to deal with in that mid lane. It's good in the but Jesus Lord Christ. Yasuo and Zed in the mid lane. I don't even think I've casted a game with a Zed and a Yasuo against each other, so that's going to be awesome to see. Thresh and Horn as well picked up a lot of CC for both teams. You've got the Morgana as well with that binding, with that ultimate. Does provide a lot of that CC potential, and the spell shield as well to actually prevent the CC that is already there with the Ornn and Thresh will be quite good into those two champions. And we see the Electric Bear, the Blind Man, the dude who does have multiple forms in the Oceania and the Jinx, all taken away there. So yeah, I couldn't really think of a name for Udia, sorry, but he's going to be
my nickname for him is just the Man Bear Pig. Oh, he's got man form, he's got bear form. And yeah, so coming into there as the final lock-ins are coming through here. We do get to see the AD carry coming in. It is being Ezreal. We saw that earlier today. Did really well. Let's see what they're up against. As Diana being hovered, I feel like you need an AP jungler here for Melbourne High School. You're running a Zed in the middle lane. You need an AP jungler here. I'm very curious what they're going to lock in, but it looks like for now they're looking for their AD carries. And I mean, Ezreal can hide, but how far away can you run against the Jhin?
Yeah, it's actually not too bad here. It does have some squishy members to target as well. Do you want to play that into the more squishy champions, as Jhin isn't amazing at taking down those tankier targets? Kayn being hovered, hope they do go for the AP option, otherwise they will be full AD in Urgot. I mean, you could just bring the Zhonya's on the Morgana, you could bring an AD item on the Yasuo, same with the Ezreal, is going to be the Kayn lock-in as well. So no AP at all on the side of McKinnon, so they're going to have to deal with that and probably try to get an early lead. Because typically when you have these AD comps, you're going to get outscaled just because of the itemization later in the game. So it may be tough when it comes to that stage, and particularly with the Ezreal, with that scaling the Yasuo, with that scaling the Morgana, with that scaling, all quite prevalent in that late game. So they are going to have to run over them early, they are going to have to make some aggressive plays, and they are going to have to defeat them in that early game if they hope to win this one, because the full AD comp is here.
Yeah, but the full AD comps really struggle against teams that can stack. They'll have, a tanky support and a tanky top laner. Urgot's tanky, sure, but he likes to build damage. He likes the Black Cleaver. I don't really see him stacking out the armor. And then the support is a Nico. So the fact they are full AD, you can kind of actually get away with it, but you still want to snowball. If this game starts to go later and later and later, I get a bit worried here for the side of Melbourne High School. So I really need to see aggressiveness out of this Kayn, and honestly, I just want this Zed and the Yasuo to just butt heads over and over and over again, and just trade kills back and forth. That's all I want out of this game at this point.
Yeah, you do have the Ezreal, so he's going to be able to really clean house here. I mean, he is into 3 relatively tanky metas. I mean, Ornn's obviously very tanky, and Thresh and Kayn more of the pseudo tank variety. Will have a bit of a struggle taking down those champions, but does outrange again every single champion, as they have 4 melees yet again. So Ezreal, I believe, will be quite prominent again, and I think similar to last game, my eyes are going to be on him. Can he get ahead in the early game? Can he utilize his advantage? Can he be really good into these melee champions? Because they do have a bit more of that threat in terms of the Zed particularly. If Zed does get ahead, it doesn't really matter about range. He's going to kill him, so that will be important, but we'll have to see how he does function. And when you have these team fights, when Morgana is in front of him, when they have that peel, they have the engage of the Nico, they have the Yasuo there as well, and Neogot, it's going to be really hard to get onto that Ezreal with that poke outranging, poking, doing so much damage. It's really, really hard to contain him. So have to see how the early game goes. It is going to be very important, particularly for this full AD comp. But yeah, as you're saying, I mean, they don't have a major tank. I mean, Urgot is a bit tanky, but as you're saying, he does build a lot of those damage items, and outside of that, they really don't have any tanks at all. So, although I think they'll still outscale, just in terms of the champions they actually have, the full AD comp isn't actually too bad here.
Yeah. And it's gonna be very fun to watch, but again, I think as much as I want to look at the mid lane, I feel like the most important part of this game is ironically the jungle Kayn. Because Kayn basically isn't a champion until you get one of the 2 forms. I'm curious which form you go for here, because there is an argument for both Shadow Assassin and Rast in this game. But I think more so, it's just you need to play aggressive, you need to be proactive, and if you want to be Rast, mid lane is a phenomenal lane to go for. Yes, there isn't much setup, but it's Yasuo, once they go in, it's very hard for them to get out. So you just gotta wait a little bit. And then if you want to get your range stacks, well, there is a Morgana hanging out in the jungle. Invade. You got plenty of room to do it.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how this Morgana plays it. I think Morgana is really good into those melee junglers where she can just deny them with the Q, with the spell shield, with the ultimate. She does usually get his Zhonya's relatively early as well, so if she is able to do that, it's going to be kind of hard for a lot of these melee champions playing some Morgana as well. She is kind of an anti-engage, anti-melee champion, but she'll have to play it well because Morgana is quite a high skill cap champion as well. I mean, she does seem easy, but then you think about the kind of mechanics she has, she's quite squishy, you got to position well, you got to do a lot of things well, same with Ezreal. So the potential is there, and the champions are good for this situation, but you got to execute as well.
Well, a lot of ways this can play itself out, but let's dive right into it with our second game of the night. Melbourne High School with a full AD competition that has to do some stuff in the early game, facing off against McKinnon Secondary. A bit more diversity, but just as much explosiveness coming in, guys. Do not go anywhere. Our second game of the night will be kicking off in just a matter of minutes. And we've hit Summoner's Rift between Melbourne High School on the blue and McKinnon Secondary in the red. And we're seeing some shenanigans already. Melbourne High School looking forwards here. Dugong, will he be able to find Pisky? Oh, that is a little unfortunate for Melbourne High School there. If they Thresh level up. Yeah, if Thresh leveled up that Q a little bit early and threw it down early, there could have been some early shenanigans, IG, but nah, yeah. just vibing for the start.
Yeah, well, Melbourne, high school here. I do have some big expectations. They are from Melbourne, and I am also from Melbourne, and as a 4,000 IQ genius, I believe people from Melbourne, we are all 4,000 IQ geniuses. So I'm expecting some pretty high level of gameplay. What do you think about that, Midnight?
Well, you haven't met me. I'm an idiot. Not so sure much I agree with that statement. As the early game looks pretty slow, but I think other people may have noticed that I have as well. Egwin on the support role, Nico, forgot to buy items. So there is a recall coming through there for the support of... Wait. Have they bought items? I can't tell if they've actually bought items or not because they're hiding as Ezreal. So I can't tell if Egwin has actually just not gotten items or what's going on there. Yeah, I hope they've bought items as they recalled. It'd be awkward if they haven't.
They might not have. That's actually really worrying. No, he does. He does.
Okay, he does. Okay.
Is that a glitch?
I think it's just Nico hiding everything. I know she deceives her opponents in game. She's apparently also deceiving the casters out of the game. But the late arrival of Egwin's a bit annoying, but I don't think it's hurt the bottom lane too much. Ezreal wasn't really saying, okay, we're going to win nice and early. And in fact, it lets Friendly Bogan hit the level 2 earlier. So they should have the Arcane Shift. Oh no, that hook can't be allowed to land. You can't allow that hook to land, mate.
Yeah, particularly on this Ezreal, you got to use that Arcane Shift well. You got to get away from those hooks. That's why you pick the champion. So strong with that E. Not going to be able to do much there, but I was seeing Ornn dance up in this top lane. I'm pretty sure he's getting this competition confused with the dancing competition, apparently, because he was just dancing his way around there, but he's actually going to go back to normal League of Legends here. But so far, mid lane, you know, it's going to be an aggressive matchup. We know there's going to be solo kill attempts. Is going to be some mad life type of stuff, but we're just waiting for it to come up.
Yeah. But I think, yeah, especially with the Zed really wants to hit, I believe it's a level 4 section.
Yeah.
On Zed is really where you get a bit more damage output, and of course the level 6 is where you can absolutely go in, and you should. At level 6 on Zed, you need to be putting the pressure out because, hey, you have the ultimate, and it's a lot harder for the Yasuo to proc hits because he's got to get the double tornadoes, got to set it up. There's a lot more prep work involved other than just pressing the R key. So keep a track on the mid lane there, as so far the game pretty passive. Only 3 minutes in. Junglers will be trading Scuttle Crabs as Lumix is going hard here, but it's just harassment, which I do love. Piscu does visit the mid lane, but Shadow to safety, and it's just posturing in the middle lane with Phoenixy invading and getting collapsed on.
Yeah, Kane, who's a bit faster in terms of clear speed, already level 4, gonna be able to, but he's getting collapsed on now, so this could be worrying. He's surrounded by 3 members.
That was a brilliant flash. Mwah,
really
beautiful.
Good. Yeah, he's got a 14 CS lead on that Morgana as well. Shouldn't be too much different as well. She's probably going to be able to pick up a wolves and just recall. And I've actually just read in the chat of the game, Urgot's in all caps written "Don't dance" to Ornn. So clearly he's also aware that it is not actually a dancing competition. We are playing a League of Legends tournament here. So
I mean, I don't know about you. When I'm playing Ornn, I spend half my time in laning phase dancing because I'm not allowed to farm. Because you just get zoned out by the Urgot who's threatening to kill you anytime you walk close to the minion wave. So, I mean, yes, it's not a dancing competition, but that's not going to stop Ornn from having a little bit of fun.
That's true. That's true.
Coming through here is first recall did happen for Phoenixing. I'm just going to call it Phoenix because I'm dumb.
Phoenixy!
The pickaxe pickup does kind of tell me that it will be a Rast transformation because, of course, we got the Conqueror. Not really a Shadow Assassin style approach here, so we'll likely see a visit to the top lane. No, not top lane, sorry, the mid lane, I should say, is what I'm hoping for. But speaking of visits, there is a gank coming in bot side. A beautiful binding does connect. The Lantern is there, though, and that should get Lucina out without too many problems here. A couple bit more poke may lay down a play. Where's the Black Shield? Where was the Black Shield, bro?
Alright, well, sorry, Kane's coming in for the counter gank, yep.
Yeah, he has to slow that. A flash play as well. Beautiful play here from Melbourne High School. A lovely turnaround. And I'm still kind of annoyed that there was no Black Shield coming in from Piscu. It has been leveled up as well, so he just didn't see the hook play coming.
Yeah, this is a bit of jungle diff right now. Kane is 21 CS up. He's a 1 level advantage, almost 2 levels probably once he takes this dragon as well. He's already had that recall off. He's getting early tempo, he's taking more camps, he's going to get the objectives in this dragon. He's got a nice counter gank off there as well to flash forward and get that kill, and just dominating this Morgana everywhere she goes. And on the mechanical side as well, Thrasher's going to steal that one away, nice work. But Morgana even just failing on that mechanical side to actually pick up the spell shield, just would be able to take away the hook and the flay CC, but doesn't use either. And in the end, she's going to go down, and that's really, really worrying. Already, Melbourne High School building up a 2k goal lead, and I hope we don't have a similar game to last game. You know, you like a good long game, getting to those team fights, but may have another similar story midnight.
Well, the game is still nice and young. The night is young, as the saying goes, so there's still plenty of time coming through here. The bottom lane is a may or may not. I'm not saying it is, I'm not saying it isn't, but it may be the biggest point here with the Jhin sitting at a comfortable 1,000 gold lead, which is a little bit rough. But before we start panicking, Ezreal has the Sheen, Ezreal has the tier. Yes, it sucks to be 1,000 gold down, but at least Ezreal has those 2 key components already.
Yeah, and you got to remember, Ezreal is a fantastic scaling champion. Excuse me.
What is going on? Top lane, Kara does flash to safety. Phoenix is coming in. Call of the Forge God on the back end. This could be massive as the Urgot will fall victim. Luxic has arrived, but there's nothing that the Yasuo can do, and Prisco goes back in! You can't go back in like that! That's just not allowed! As they will go down there. Luminox now trying to fight it off there. Does have the Tornado, does have the knockup, double knockup coming through. That is massive! 1 falls, 2 falls. The TP coming through there is irrelevant, as Kara is not making it out this back alive.
Bit of a turnaround there. They actually do pick up some shutdowns. Excuse me, my throat. It's a bit sore. Kane going probably a bit too deep to actually try to dive onto the Yasuo just at the end of that fight, but they do execute that relatively well up until that point. Morgana as well going a bit of overextension, so both junglers making some pretty critical mistakes in that fight. But in the end, it is, I believe a 2 for 2 in that top lane, so not too bad for either team, not too good either though, and this Morgana still a large amount behind, really needs to catch up in the TP. We'll just come in top lane. Yeah, take away this wave. But in this matchup, as the Urgot, you do want to be a bit more ahead than this. So if Ornn does just maintain this kind of evenness in terms of the CS, in terms of the kills, it will favour him because he will be stronger as the game goes on, as the team fights start coming in. He'll be really, really prevalent.
And it's a little alarming to me that both gank attempts we've seen out of this Morgana have gone poorly. We saw gank attempt number 1 in the bottom lane. They forced out some summon spells, but then Pisu overextended, got caught by the flag, got caught by the hook, and got taken down. Then in the top lane, once again, an overstay. Yes, Luminox was nearby, and yes, was able to pick up the double kill, but it was an unnecessary extension. So I'm really hoping there should be another gank as Dugong is playing aggressive, has the hook, misses it as a double CC comes through. Dugong drops down the box, but it may not matter. Phoenixy has arrived, so the flash from Egwin gets them out alive. But what I was trying to say is that Pisu, I really want to see some, another gank attempt coming out from this Morgana, but not a reckless one. That's the thing I worry a lot of junglers do is, oh, I'm falling behind, I gotta go crazy. No, play smart, play safe, as we'll see where it goes, because they are poking on bot lane, but they're on a ward.
Yeah, Morgana is struggling a bit here. Not even just the ganks as well, just a bit of hesitation at points to lose some camps, and oh my god, is this a solo kill in the top lane?
One more hit will do it, but there is no flash from Kara. The flash from Lightsaber Horse did get them to dodge the Call of the Forge God, so they get out alive, but this Ornn fighting back in what is usually a bit of a rough matchup.
Yeah, not doing too well actually, the Urgot in that matchup for the kind of aggressive one it is for him. Struggling a bit there, but yeah, back to Morgana, just a bit of hesitation, just in terms of general play as well, just not going for camps quick enough, not rotating quick enough, not being where she needs to be, and she's fallen behind in farm, in tempo, and just those ganks as well, just not being where she needs to be, not executing them like she should. Needs to kind of lift the performance just a bit here in this game, if they want to take away the W.
Yeah, but this could be something here on the top lane. Lightsaber Horse has access to the Fear Beyond Death, but misses it completely. That is a disaster. Paisu must hit this Dark Binding for this to work there. Throws it out, does connect it, and unfortunately the Bellows Breath doesn't work like that, mate. It does not stop the crowd control, but the reinforcement here. Phoenixy comes for the counter gank. This could be massive. A Pisu taken down low. Humble Trespass is available. Dives inside of Pisu. The Dark Shield really not going to help against the physical damage base as the flash comes through. Demon Slayer tries to do something in the middle lane with the Death Mark. Doesn't get the kill, but gets some nice pressure out there against Luminox. Dugong does not land the hook. That could have been something beautiful, but instead it's simply a disengage.
Yeah, Zed doesn't have the ultimate available as well, so not really going to be able to like one-shot the Yasuo or do something crazy, but again, Morgana just going over too far. Once you don't get that original Urgot ultimate, that's over. I mean, yes, you can chase forward, but you don't have Urgot flash. You'd have to probably flash forward with the Morgana bind, and even then, it's an Ornn. He's not going to go down in 2 seconds. Kane could potentially be there. You don't know where he is on the map. He's going to come in for the counter gang eventually. They just overextend a bit, and again, another kill goes into this Kane's pocket. He's now 3-1. He's 33 CS ahead, and this second dragon may just be his. That there may be a fight beforehand to kind of see who actually does get it, but he's just in such a strong position now, just due to some mistakes from Morgana and some good play as well to come in on these counter ganks.
Yeah, but despite playing well, it is not in either form just yet. Kane is available. Oh, this is the problem. Phoenixy is available to become the Shadow Assassin, which is not, I believe, the intention. Look at the build path and look at the Keystone. That is not a Shadow Assassin build. And yeah, he's going to have to wait out. I believe it's the 5-minute... Is it either a 5 or a 3-minute timer to get the form that they want? That is a little bit of a disaster here.
Yeah, I did play Kane a few days ago. I think it's 4. It might be wrong. It might be 3, actually. It's either 3 or 4, though. But Morgana,
no, that's just straight up dev. 2-man knocker, but Luminoxy can't follow in on that. There's 3 members there, not to mention Demon Slayer already in the middle lane. As Bisu just getting caught out over and over again. It's really heartbreaking because we know what this Morgana is trying to do, right? They're trying to get back into the game. They're trying to be proactive, but they're just falling. They're not able to avoid the dangers coming their way. As oh boy, oh no, you've been abandoned.
Yes, can actually complete the recall there, Egwin. Trying to make an omelette out of that situation, but ends up with just some empty eggshells there. Absolutely, pretty bad. If Thresh did land that hook, probably would have been a kill. But Ezreal does have plenty of escapes. The E, the flash was available as well. Gonna pick up 2. Oh come on, it's the cloud salt.
You really don't like the cloud salt, do
Just
you?
come on, man. Just. Do all this hard work. Kane does all these amazing counter ganks. He gets all this CS ahead.
Ooh, Demon! That was a beautiful move there as Paisu now stuck in the front lane, been abandoned by their own mid laner. Says, alright, I'll take the L again, I guess. And that's heartbreaking because I don't feel like Paisu did anything wrong there. He came to save his mid laner. He got abandoned by said mid laner. That's a betrayal.
It's just... top 10 anime betrayals is actually the name of this game. So, League of Legends anymore, but Kane gonna pick up this Rift Herald. Pretty much, I don't believe anyone actually got the first Rift Herald, so this is just going to be the only Rift Herald for the game. Gonna pick that up, controlling the objectives really well. A gold lead, massive gold lead for the team. He's got the kills, he's got the farm lead. What else can he actually get here? He's doing so well as a whole. Kind of solo carrying this game almost on the Kane. We do have some other good performances with the Jin, the Zed even having a pretty solid game, but so far on this Kane, he's kind of insane.
Yeah, it's done really well to be proactive. And again, this is a state where he's not able to get the transformation that Phoenix he wanted, right? They're stuck waiting for the Rust to become available. I think it's only like maybe a minute or two that it will become available. But it's still just slowing down what could be just a more impactful Kane. So, and that's a scary thought, right? A more impactful Kane, considering what we've seen so far, is terrifying. So, I'm really excited to see how that's going to go. And for Pisu, I said it once, I'll say it again. This Morgana, I'm really, really worried now. The attempted ganks were nice, but once those ganks failed, Morgana is a fantastic power jungler. Just clear the minion waves, get up your first clear minion waves, clear your jungle camps, you know, get back up in CS, and then look to go for some ganks. Stop trying to force them when they aren't there. Unfortunately, that's what they've been doing, and the 0-5 scoreline is rather telling.
Yeah, I was about to say you were saying mini waves, and I was like, go into your teammates' mini waves, smite the cannons, take away. No, rotate. Going to take the red buff up here as well. Just trying to rotate those camps, just trying to pick up as much CS, and that is what you want to do as a jungler, as pretty much all junglers really. When you're that far behind, just farm as many camps as possible, take away as many camps as possible, try to avoid the enemy jungler as much as possible. When they do overextend, when they do make a mistake, do collapse and get a kill, get those shutdowns, but you're just trying to stay safe, you're just trying to get your camps, just trying to get as much golden experience into your pocket as possible.
This is good! This looks good! Pop! No, Pop's not enough! The shield bow! The shield bow broke! One more auto would do it, but Luminox gets out with a sliver of HP! Oh, Call of Forge God! This could have the damage output, but the Dark Shield actually saves the Yasuo Pisu! That's what we want to be seeing, baby!
Yeah, good little spell shield there to avoid, but Urgot's probably not going to get chased down here. Ornn doesn't have the ultimate available, but they're going to place that Rift Herald mid, probably correct their first turret of the game, and get that advantage going for themselves. Get a bit more control in this game as Morgana. Oh no, she gone. No place.
Whew. Able to dodge the knock up there because, of course, now that there is a Rust. Oh, my camera's looking at me bot lane there as Bogan does stay out of changer here. Oh boy, Friendly needs to run. He's this isn't looking good. You have to dodge the flay. Get caught by the flay. Flashes early, not able to dodge the follow-up hook though. And Phoenix, he steals the kill away from Dr. Dugong because that was the Thresh by all right. Kill there as the two top laners duke it out. Surprise, surprise, no one comes out of the trade the better end.
Did he cancel the arcane shift or something? That was really cool.
I'm
not sure if he did.
I didn't see an arcane shift, but I think he used it early to try and escape.
Okay.
And then flashed at the end of it is what I think happened.
Alright, yeah, but still well played by Thresh using the flay and the hook. Being patient there as well. In those situations, don't just throw out a blind hook. You walk up, you guarantee the flay, and then you hook them when they do use that escape. Really, really well executed there, and they're going to be able to pick up a turret because of it.
Yeah, that will be turret number 2 picked up this game as Kara is, might be in a bit of trouble there because the Fear Beyond Death is available. The flash as well, flash to flash. Lightsaber Horse will not be able to get down the last little bit of damage, which is a bit frustrating for the Urgot there, but continuing to put the pressure on as objective number, I suppose objective number 3, Dragon number 3 is up, and it looks like this will be a clean secure by Melbourne High School.
Yeah, there's pretty much no reason this shouldn't go over to the Kana. On has that TP advantage as well, unless Ezreal says with it ult, which he does not. Sneako's going to try to come over and just throw an ability on it. Third Drake gone down. It is a Cloud Drake, so it is absolutely, completely, and utterly not very good. You thought I was going to say useless, didn't you? But I'm not that toxic. I'm not that toxic. Fair enough. Don't read my chat logs, even though I mute all. Is going to take away that dragon. So they will get the movement speed buff eventually, I'm expecting, unless something goes very, very, very wrong. That will be good on the Thresh, the Zed, and the Orners. They can all move after they cast their ultimates.
Oh my lord, an engage coming through the flash over here, Demon Slayer out of trouble there, and the Death Mark not able to get the damage done, but the Curtain Call coming through, Egwin running for the hills there. Okay, yeah. That I have to respect. Egwin knows they're gonna die and says, "You know what? That's all right. Take me. I got this."
So, anyone learning how to cook, that's actually how you fry an egg. Fantastic gameplay, but not only that, a really good cooking tutorial as well, teaching some of our younger kids, you know, in the high schools, how to cook. Just an absolute terrific move there. But he's gonna find that not solo kill, sorry, kill on the Jid. I believe. It actually might have gone on the Z. I'm actually not 100% sure, but one of them did definitely kill. But now, in the Yasuo,
not able to land the tornado. That's a disaster. Luminix will go down here. Humble Trespass will pick up the kill, but what a beautiful dodge coming through there to avoid the tornado. Damn, that was good looking.
And the onslaught just continues top lane.
Oh my god, run, Saber! Saber's getting dived by Dugong as well, the double knockup courtesy of the play there, and finally the good doctor gets the kill that they rightfully deserve.
Alright, Midnight, do your best Dugong impression, come on.
I don't know what a Dugong sounds like. The only thing I know of a Dugong is, oh, is this a bait? Pisu, run? Pisu, run for it? Alright, Pisu gets on. The other thing I understand of Dugongs is that, the Nigel Thornberry, I don't know if anyone listening actually knows. I don't think the Thornberries are around anymore. It was around when I was a kid. And the only thing I know of it is the Nigel pretending to be a Dugong. It's an atrocious sound clip. You should absolutely go and listen to it when you get the time, because it is something you'll never be able to unhear.
And I'm not sure if anyone is old enough in the audience to know what that is. I'm sorry.
Absolutely just revealing how old I am on the cast. That's all I'm doing here.
Look.
But no, seriously, look for like Eliza, I'm a Dugong by the Thornberries. It is a sound clip for the ages. Coming in here, 21 minutes on the clock, 11 kills to 2, a 8,000 gold lead right now for Melbourne High School, and they have been playing phenomenally on the back of the pressure that Phoenixy has been doing. Counter ganked, actively ganking. It's been a phenomenal job from the K in this game.
Yeah, he's been really, really good. I was about to make another rhyme, but I just really thought I'll go against that. I think we've had enough of the puns for today. I think Midnight's had enough. He knows they do get on his nerves a bit as we go across the game. But
I'm old and grumpy, man. All right, I just gotta. There's only so much young kid people stuff I can handle before it becomes too much for my brain. As Kara, I'm going to just sidetrack here. Kara's in a little bit of trouble here. A nice lookup and a final breath there. The Dark Binding does not connect, but I don't think it matters at this point there. Kara fights off well, but a tank just doesn't have the damage output. But look at the pings. That's a Baron call immediately after losing their top laner.
Yeah, I mean, good to get that kill on the Yasuo, but what are they going to lose for it across the map? The Baron is started. Can Urgot actually stop this? They don't have heaps and heaps of damage for it. Jhin only has one item on his way to completing his second, and they don't really have any other major damage. They're going to definitely get there. This could be a turning point in the game if they stay on it.
Yeah, they don't have the damage output here. The Zed doesn't... Zed's a burst champion. The Kane's pretty good, but with the Jhin, again, Jin's more of a burst AD carry than a consistent DPS because you get 4 bullets a clip. So you can't burst down a Baron with this composition, and I love the attempt because it's the standard call. Lose your top laner on one side of the map, force the objective, but you're outnumbered, you don't have the burst damage, you needed to go for a pick there, I think would have been your best option.
Yeah, they're probably just going to take this mid tower and actually maybe look to get a dragon back here. They might not lose that Cloud Soul as quickly as I may have thought, but will at least stop the Baron as well from going down. So good effort there, actually turning this game a bit around, potentially with another team fight or something going their way. They could really put their foot back in this game. It is a big gold lead still. Yes, some mistakes would have to be made by Melbourne High, but we'll have to see what they can actually do in these fights.
TPing in for this, so that I feel like there's absolutely going to be a contest here. At Melbourne High School, their top laner has yet to join.
Yeah.
So they need to make a call. Do you sack this dragon or do you fight it and force the TP now?
Yeah, the TP is up and available for that Ornn. It's going to bring it down now.
They've got to be careful. If they get stuck in this choke point here, it might be a disaster. The hook lands on one. They're in a thin point against an Ornn. This is never going to go well if you're on the side of McKinnon here, as they are just getting run over. Call the Forge God didn't connect, but it doesn't matter as utter devastation comes through there. The last man standing was Lumox, but it doesn't matter. A quadra kill for the Zed in the middle lane there, and a disastrous thing as Carrot, we will talk about your ult, but maybe later.
Yeah, that was a really good team fight. They just got caught on the choke and they just tried to engage through. They tried to force themselves through, but they just couldn't. They just didn't have the damage, they didn't have the levels, they don't have the gold to be able to take that one. Actually surprised them going to go for a push here instead of the Baron. They might actually just back themselves onto it, but I think they could have just walked to the Baron instead. Going to elect not to and just take the tower instead. They do have that Cloud Soul, obviously, so very good for them there. Going to be able to pick up a bit of that extra movement speed on the Ornn. As I was saying earlier, the Ornn, Zed, and Thresh will benefit the most from that, but also the spawn of the Elder Drag will be coming up. And, I mean, it's virtually impossible to take away a 10k gold lead in 5 minutes. So when that Elder Dragon comes up, it will be very hard if they don't get that to not win the game.
And what worries me the most is, yes, it says 10,000 or 9,000 gold, 44 to 35, but what is most alarming is the ornaments are coming through here. The ornaments, now depending on who you ask, have different values. Now, so far, we just had the Ornn upgrading his own, Sunfire into the Frost, Forge Fire, and of course, the Ceaseless Hunger is now sitting in the Kane's inventory. That's what it's called, the Ceaseless Hunger. You know, it's like me at 2 AM looking for noodles in the cupboard. But that is approximately another 1,000 to 2,000 to 3,000 gold extra, as Demon is just gonna get nuked. Oh my god!
Yeah, the problem is Yasuo's bot lane, so they're not gonna be able to really contest this Baron. He's going down. They're just gonna be able to pick it up here as well. The Ezreal's kind of help it.
Ah, no steal coming in there now. It was unfortunate it was a steal there, but the Baron secured. Luminoxy on the bottom side needs to get a turret. Like, that's the trade you've made. A Baron for a turret played around the map. If you can't secure that, yes, they will. That is, and I wouldn't say a good trade, but consider the situation they're in. They are down a significant amount of gold. They are one dragon away from it. They need to recover gold. They get a kill, they get a turret. As long as they don't lose their base, it's actually not a bad trade, but they can't lose members as well, as Egwin going in there with a pop blossom, not really able to connect on priority members. As
nice
open up there, they're not able to get access to the backline there. Ornn gets a beautiful call, the forward got to buy time there, and now they are just going to get scattered into the wind. McKinnon fought well, but unfortunately they are just too far behind to do anything about it.
Yeah, just a bit too strong there. They'll actually, they actually brought the gold back just a bit off that Baron play, but in the end, they are going to go down that team fight. Going to get absolutely completely wiped. Really strong performance from Ornn in a lot of these team fights. He's hitting multiple really big knock-ups, setting the team fights well up for his team. Thresh hitting hooks. I mean, it's hard to pick an MVP here with how well so many of these players have performed. But they're just going to probably walk through it. They might actually switch to the top line. So this one, is not over yet. The death timers just aren't big enough at 27 minutes for them to be able to close this one out. Ezreal and Nico alive, or Morgana as well, so not going to be able to actually end this one off yet.
Not yet, but they will do their due diligence, taking the inhibitors, taking the tier 2 turrets. This is what you need to do, continue escalating the gold. You've got the... Did he just steal the... Ara just stole the red buff from his own jungler. But what you need to do is keep the pressure on. Secure all the tier 2 turrets
Yeah.
is the next step of this game. Because if you just sit back, you've taken an inhib. You are feeding gold to McKinnon
Yeah.
for the rest of the game. If you just sit back and let the game play itself out, it ain't good.
Yeah, this is where you get to solo queue, right? And you go bot lane in this sort of situation. You're like, oh, we should all push bot lane, team. We have Baron, like we just force it, right? And your bot lane just your mid lane is taking a jungle camp. I'm the jungle, by the way. You know, the top lane is he's in base. He's going getting food, and then the bot lane's just they're dead. So you got no idea what you're doing. You know, you've got this massive gold lead that you've established all by yourself, but you can't do anything because of your team. So in this coordinated game setting, they should be able to push down this bot lane, push down the other lane. Then, but
run! Oh no,
that's been a sad game for Morgana.
Pisu's had a lot of struggle this game. A couple early ganks that didn't work out. And then just sort of over-pushing their welcome in certain areas as well on this Morgana. The ideas were good, but unfortunately the execution just needed a little bit of work. As we're seeing, McKinnon, they're trying to set up for defending the tier 2, but yeah, you can go to the middle lane. The Baron has worn itself out, but with these super minions, you've got 15 seconds to make something work if you're feeling confident.
Yeah, they should be able to end this one off here. They don't actually. They're actually just dancing. All right, this is We're going back to a dance competition here, Midnight. But,
no, that hook forces a lot out of Lightsaber Horse there. Does get out, though.
Wait, the lantern's a projectile. It just
the lantern is a projectile. Don't ask me how, but apparently the lantern is a projectile. That's
insane. Okay.
The super minions are sieging out the base here, but I'm getting word Melbourne High School, yes, you are significantly ahead, but just sitting there doesn't do anything. You need to be taking the actual turrets, taking the actual objectives. Yeah, I'm a little worried that doesn't playing with their food a bit too much.
Yeah, this is the solo queue thing where you take 2 inhibs and then you just push the other one, but they're not taking the other inhib, they're just walking at the Nexus towers. Not doing very good here, but are going to be able to take that tower eventually now. They should just be able to push down this inhib with the gold lead they have and then back off onto the Algae Dragon that is spawning in a few seconds. And it's just very hard for McKinnon, just how far they are behind to contest it. They are going to back up a little bit here, but now, Melbourne High, just going to walk through, going to clear that vision. They could even just wait in one of these bushes, because the idea is McKinnon have to contest. They have to walk through, they have to do something, right? So if they just stand in one of these bushes and kill them, they're not really getting the Drake, but they're going to have to walk through eventually, and they can get an easy kill, get an easy pick, but they are going to start it up anyway.
Yeah, they'll start it up. You have to contest it. If you don't, you are just giving the game up for free. So you have no choice. You have to contest. Super minions are crashing into base. 6,000 health now onto the dragon. As they're piling in for the rest of the fight, it will kick off. They're diving in from the side of McKinnon, but I don't know if it's going to be enough. A scrappy fight at all. But unfortunately, their members, unsurprisingly, are dropping. Melbourne High School, with too big of a lead, will destroy McKinnon secondary in this final fight. And hell, in this game, sitting at a 14,000 gold advantage. They'll TP into the base itself, and there is nothing McKinnon can do but watch their base crumble to dust.
Yeah, they're going to end this one off, and I mean, you thought I was a bit toxic, you know what I mean? But like, are we going to pick Morgana for our MVP for this game?
That's toxic. Going through this. Hit the Nexus. Hit it. Hit the Nexus. Come on. Aaron's gonna. He got that kill. That will be the game. That is a bit too much posturing at a Melbourne High School, but they will take the game and win that, putting them at a 5-2 situation in the Victoria and Tasmania areas, which is a great position for them. Now they're in a really dominant position here, and kudos, Lucia. I had to point that out. Deathless, as well as Dr. Dugong, both sitting deathless this game. Phenomenal work from Melbourne High School.
Yeah, really good performance. I particularly like how well Kane played, you know, obviously similar KDA to a lot of his teammates, but I think he was really good in countering the Morgana, really shut her down, got all the objectives. Just played really almost a perfect game in terms of what he did. Massive CS advantage as well, just all over the map, doing really well overall. Having a really strong performance there. I think Melbourne High kind of proving their 4,000 IQ-ness, did have some good plays throughout the game. Did have a bit of a struggle ending there just for a bit, but overall, really good performance. I think their early game was really strong. They played it well. They got the objectives. They knew where to be, and they really cleared out those towers quickly and kind of executed well. And particularly in terms of their early Drakes, their early Heralds, their early lane kills, were all quite good. And they really just outplayed McKinnon across the board in terms of that early game.
Yeah, and speaking of that, there will be our MVP. Proudly sponsored by Optus and Torrens University. Surprise, surprise, it's going to be the jungler here for the side of Melbourne High School. Phoenixy on this Kane did phenomenally. And it wasn't just the pressure in the objective game. What I was most impressed with on this jungler was the counter ganks. We saw the first two ganks, I should say, from Pisu's Morgana, both got countered by Phoenixy. And that's what put the Morgana so far behind in that early game, was two just brilliant counter ganks, and then after those counter ganks, the Kane really got online, was able to start impacting the rest of the map, and it got Melbourne High School the kickstart that they really needed to just ensure that they were a massive lead above their opponents there. So yeah, Phoenixy, I think, did just a phenomenal job.
Yeah, I think it's a really, really big thing. And it's seen at a lot of levels where people don't do it a lot, and they stay on the camp, or they hesitate to actually go for that counter gank. So being there at the timings, running straight there, managing to get a lot of kills and a lot of advantages from it was really, really awesome. Thought he played really well. I also want to give a bit of credit to Dr. Dugon. I think he had a really, really strong performance on the Thresh. Mechanically was really well executed. Was also deathless along with that Thresh, along with the Jhin, sorry. And the bot lane just did have a really, really solid performance. I thought they played really well. They were playing safe, they were playing control, they were playing quite well. So really good performances. Even the Ornn in the team fights as well. I mean, you could pretty much talk about anyone on this team, Melbourne High team. They had a really, really good performance across the board, and just a bit of bad luck from McKinnon, just not having the early game they really wanted to. Morgana getting shut down early, but just go back to the drawing board and you work at it again next week. 4-2 team before this week, so obviously doing pretty well. So 4-3 now. They can definitely look to improve on that record. Still a positive record.
Yeah, McKinnon didn't do poorly. It's just they lost control early, right? They couldn't get their jungle ganks going. It sort of fell apart from there, unfortunately. But there's still a couple weeks left of life for them, so let's not count McKinnon out yet. But that will be the wrap-up for our second game, guys. And that means we only have one game left before we call it a night. And that is going to be a return to the New South Wales, ACT, and Queensland. Surprise, surprise, I've got a notebook that has everything written on it. I'm not, can't remember anything like that. It will be De La Salle College facing up against Cabramatta High School. I probably completely botched that pronunciation. I apologize for that one. But guys, don't go anywhere. In about 13 or so minutes, grab yourself a snack, come right back, and we'll hit the rift for our third and final game. And the third and final game is super important for both of these teams. So guys, we'll see you then.